It's over. Who has died? Amy Roloff's house caught fire, lost $340,000, Little People, Big World. By Roloff Insider News Desk. August 13th, 2025, Hillsboro, Oregon. The breaking alarm. It was just after 2:17 a.m. on a quiet Tuesday morning when the unthinkable happened. Amy Roloff's charming farmhouse, a place of warmth, gatherings, and countless little people, big world memories, was engulfed in flames. The thick scent of smoke carried through the rural neighborhood as emergency calls flooded the Washington County Fire Department. Within minutes, 7 fire engines were racing down the gravel roads toward the property. But the chaos didn't end there. As neighbors gathered in their driveways, whispers began to spread. Someone didn't make it out. Hello. Welcome back. USA's series spoiler update. Please subscribe now. That single rumor would ignite its own wildfire of speculation, sending shockwaves through the Roloff family and their fan base. Flames and fear. Eyewitness Mark Daniels, who lives 2 houses down from Amy, recalls the moment vividly. The sky just lit up orange. I thought maybe there was a controlled burn, but then I saw Amy outside in her robe, barefoot, just screaming for someone. It was like a nightmare. I couldn't tell if she was calling for Chris or one of her pets, but she looked terrified. Amy's 2-story home, which she purchased after her divorce from Matt Roloff, was known for its cozy kitchen, homey decor, and sprawling backyard. It had been featured on Little People, Big World several times, becoming a fan favorite. By the time fire crews arrived, the blaze had already swallowed the back porch and was racing toward the second floor. The question no one wanted to ask. The earliest dispatch reports to local media included a chilling phrase. Possible fatality at scene. Fans awoke to cryptic social media posts from bystanders, leading to trending hashtags like Pray for Amy and Roloff Tragedy. On Facebook, a woman claiming to be a neighbor wrote, "We don't know for sure, but someone didn't make it out. Please just pray." That post alone sparked hundreds of panicked replies. Is Chris okay? What about her dogs? Did one of the kids stay over? The family rushes in. Within hours, members of the Roloff family began arriving at the scene. Zach and Tori Roloff were seen rushing past the police tape, visibly shaken. Jeremy Roloff arrived separately, his face grim, speaking briefly to firefighters. Matt Roloff and fiancée Karen Chandler were spotted near the entrance, whispering with officers. A tense silence hung in the air as the family avoided reporters, some wiping away tears, others just standing frozen in disbelief. Official damage estimate. At 9:12 a.m., the Washington County Fire Marshal released a preliminary report. Total estimated loss, $340,000. Cause. Under investigation, possible electrical malfunction in kitchen. Casualties. 1 confirmed deceased. The announcement sent a new wave of grief and confusion through the Roloff community. Who had died? Why were officials so slow to confirm the identity? The mystery victim. By noon, speculation had reached fever pitch. Some feared it was Chris Merrick, Amy's husband. Others worried about Amy's elderly rescue dog, Felix. Then, a devastating rumor began to circulate that the victim might have been a close family friend who was staying over. Sources close to the family told Roloff Insider News. Amy had a guest, an old friend from Michigan. She had been visiting for a few days. They think she might have been asleep upstairs when the fire started. Amy's statement. At 4:30 p.m., a visibly shaken Amy Roloff stood before cameras outside the charred remains of her home. Her voice cracked as she read a prepared statement. "This has been the hardest day of my life. My home is gone, but homes can be rebuilt. Lives cannot. Last night, a dear friend of mine, someone I've known for over 30 years, lost her life in this fire. I am heartbroken beyond words. My prayers and my love are with her family. I ask for privacy as we process this tragedy." She did not name the victim, but sources later confirmed the deceased was Linda Graham, 62, a college friend Amy had known since her days at Central Michigan University. Behind the flames, what went wrong? Fire investigators believe the blaze began in the kitchen's electrical panel, possibly sparked by a faulty outlet near the stove. They suspect it smoldered for hours before erupting into open flames. Unfortunately, the upstairs hallway smoke detector had been removed during minor renovations the week prior. The lack of an alarm on the second floor meant that Linda likely never woke up as the smoke filled the guest bedroom. Roloff family reactions. Zach Roloff posted a heartfelt tribute on Instagram. Life can change in a blink. Hug your people tight tonight. We love you, Aunt Linda. Jeremy Roloff shared a picture of the farmhouse in happier times, writing, "This home was a place of so many memories, laughter, and late-night talks. Heartbroken for Mom and everyone who loved Linda." Matt Roloff released a short statement. "We may not live under the same roof, but when tragedy strikes, we are one family. Supporting Amy and honoring Linda is all that matters right now." Fans respond with love. Across social media, LBBW fans organized fundraisers to help Amy rebuild. By midnight, a GoFundMe had already reached $52,000 in donations. Messages poured in from viewers around the world. "Amy, we are with you. You've given us years of joy. Now it's our turn to lift you up. Rest in peace, Linda. Thank you for being a light in Amy's life." Looking ahead. While Amy's future living arrangements are unclear, friends say she is determined to stay in the Hillsborough area. She has temporarily moved in with Zach and Tori while the insurance process begins. The family has also announced a private memorial service for Linda next week. Final thoughts. This tragedy marks one of the darkest chapters in Little People, Big World history. What was once just a cozy farmhouse is now a blackened skeleton of charred beams and memories. But as Amy said in her closing words to reporters, it was supposed to be an ordinary late summer evening for Amy Roloff. The day had been warm but breezy, the kind of day where the kitchen windows stayed open to let in fresh air, and the smell of baked zucchini bread still lingered hours later. By 11:30 p.m., Amy had finished cleaning up after a small dinner gathering with her longtime friend Linda Graham, who had flown in from Michigan 3 days prior. The two women had spent hours reminiscing about their college days, looking through old photographs, and even flipping through Amy's scrapbook from her first years on Little People, Big World. Chris Merrick, Amy's husband, had gone to bed early, exhausted from a long motorcycle ride earlier that day. Linda, staying in the upstairs guest room, had also retired around midnight. Amy stayed downstairs reading, a cup of herbal tea cooling beside her. The hum of the refrigerator and the faint ticking of the kitchen clock were the only sounds in the house. That peace would not last. Sparks in the night. Unbeknownst to Amy, a slow electrical failure was brewing behind the wall near the kitchen's main outlet, the one she often used for her coffee maker and toaster. Investigators would later conclude that worn wiring, combined with a small grease residue from years of cooking, had created the perfect conditions for disaster. At approximately 1:58 a.m., a faint crackling sound began. By 2:05 a.m., tiny arcs of electricity had ignited insulation inside the wall cavity. For several minutes, the fire remained hidden, smoldering in silence. The moment everything changed. 2:17 a.m., Amy awoke to the smell of smoke. At first, she thought it might be coming from outside, perhaps a neighbor burning wood. But within seconds, she noticed the haze creeping into the living room. Running toward the kitchen, she was met by a wall of orange. Flames had erupted behind the stove, curling upward and licking the cabinets. The heat was so intense she had to step back instantly. Amy shouted for Chris, her voice raw with panic. Chris stumbled from the bedroom, disoriented, coughing as the thick smoke spread. "Amy, we have to get out," he yelled. She realized in horror that Linda was still upstairs. The impossible choice. Amy bolted toward the staircase, but by now, the fire had reached the wooden railing. The heat was blistering, the smoke choking. Chris grabbed her arm to stop her, knowing that one more step into that inferno could be fatal. "We can't get to her from here. Outside," he cried. They ran into the front yard barefoot, Amy screaming Linda's name over and over. The air was sharp with the smell of burning wood, and the sound of crackling flames was deafening. Chris grabbed his phone and dialed 911. The call for help. 2:19 a.m. Washington County Emergency Dispatch received the first call. House fire. Two-story residence. Possible person trapped inside. Within minutes, the first fire truck was en route. Sirens pierced the quiet night, growing louder as they approached. Neighbor Mark Daniels saw the glow from his bedroom window. The whole sky was orange. I thought it was a barn on fire until I saw Amy outside. She was in her robe, screaming for someone upstairs. I knew right then this was bad. The battle against time. 2:24 a.m. The first fire crew arrived to find the back half of Amy's house engulfed. Flames had already broken through the roof near the kitchen. Captain Aaron Vasquez led the initial team. We were told there was a confirmed person inside. Our priority was an immediate search, but the fire conditions were extreme. The stairwell was completely compromised within minutes.